Well, thank you for staying here with us on Power 102 FM. Special thanks as always to Maggie kicking off our afternoon into evening live programming here on Power 2.1 FM. Also a very special thanks as always to Richard Norrie and Skippy. Well, taking our time, 8 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we do welcome you to Sexplosion on Power 102 FM. Look, the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Brandon, our Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located at St. Augustine. There he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. And a very special good evening to you.
Pleasant good evening to you.
Family, my brother, how are you doing?
For those of you on radio, those of you on social media, pleasant good evening. We are here to discuss things of a sexual nature, so don't be afraid to ask your questions.
No, and is this kind of weather we're experiencing outside there?
I find today is very cold.
Yes, yeah.
For some reason. Honestly, it was just cold and damp and, well, I'm not complaining about the rain. I don't ever complain about rain. I like rain, but it was kind of cold and damp, so.
Nice weather to cozy up.
I think so.
Yeah, hey, that's what we're talking about.
A cup of hot cocoa.
Cocoa. I'll stay with the seas. I'll go with the coffee.
Well, yeah, you will want coffee. I want cocoa.
Yeah. Cocoa.
And cuddling.
Yeah.
All the seas. You said.
There's a lot of girls named Cocoa, no? Could you imagine?
Well, that's what I meant. And coffee too.
Yes.
So you could have a whole family.
Oh, definitely we could. Definitely.
What I wanted to touch on, Junior, this evening is I know we have a abridged version of the program, which is 1 hour. Normally this program is 2 hours on a Thursday evening. So I wanted to touch a bit about, what exactly we do at the Adult Therapy Center, because that's important. I realize that some persons who are listening to the program for the first time, or maybe they have been listening to the program for some time now, they don't realize that I do have a clinic that deals with all these sexual things that we talk about.
Yeah.
Anything that affects the male or female or the couple, we deal with that at the Adult Therapy Center. So it's important to touch on those things that from time to time to remind the listeners about that. Sometimes we have specials for elderly persons over pensionable age. We charge less for, especially when they hear it on the program, they could come the next day and they will be charged less. But that's not the main focus. The main focus is all about the sexual health of an individual. But yesterday we had a very successful program with individuals coming to have themselves tested. And later on, Prashant will talk a bit about that. But we had a lot of persons coming, and we had some of them coming with friends. It even ended up being more than the amount that was supposed to come, but that's okay. And again, we're letting the listeners know out there that you can send your father, you can send your uncle, you can send your brother. Anyone who is a male, you can send them for a free checkup at the Princestown branch on Saturday. And one of the things that we're doing is after you get your free checkup on whatever needs to be done, the consultant there, which will be Prashant, will tell you exactly what you need to do. And if you need to do follow-up on that, that's entirely up to you. You're not obligated to do anything. But if someone tells you you have an issue to deal with, for example, circulation, which seems to be a very serious issue, especially among men.
Yeah.
Their nitric oxide levels are low, and they are unable to get that circulation going. And if you do any kind of research with the penis and with your sexual health, for men especially, you realize nitric oxide is an important component of you functioning well sexually. As a matter of fact, there's a bit of false news being circulated on Facebook where a very famous individual who died some time ago, they said that for his sexual prowess, he used to use nitric oxide. But it's a false advertisement because they want to sell the product. He wasn't using that per se, but they're using him now to market a product. But I'm just using that as a reference. Men especially have to deal with all these different issues: stress, anxiety, performance issues, especially if they're trying to keep up with certain things sexually, in their mind, with their partner, individually. So when you correlate all these things together, you come to you could become very confused. Women, on the other hand, can very easily get into the mood or slip out of the mood or not be in the mood but still have sex because they program that way. All they need is a bit of lubrication and they don't have to really enjoy it, although I'm not saying that they shouldn't enjoy it. What I'm saying is that some women can fake it very well, whereas with a man you cannot fake an erection. There's no way you can fake an erection. You cannot fake that. So in order for you to perform well sexually, there are a number of things that have to take place. When you think about the maturity of a man, the aging process, what it does to the internal organs, and that alarm system that we carry, which is our sexual system, when you think of the changes that takes place, how carefully you examine that and how you treat with it is of utmost importance, especially if you want to continue having a good sex life. Now, I'm not saying everything revolves around sex at all. And I make that very clear from time to time that everything does not revolve around sex. But if you want to have a good relationship with your partner, you better be able to perform. If you want to have happiness in your relationship, if you want to be assured of the fact that your partner will not be contemplating going with someone else, have a good sexual relationship. It's the cement that binds your relationship together. It's not the most important component of your relationship, but it's that cement that binds it together. So you can have a relationship with someone, and relationships is something that we should talk about because that's what I want to touch on. Everything that we do, I have a relationship with you. Although people think that once you use the word relationship, it's a physical, sexual relationship.
Yes, people,
But it's not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyone can have a relationship with anyone else. It is not a physical thing because a relationship is interaction between two people. So I could be married to someone and I have a relationship with that person, but the relationship stops at just being a talk.
Yeah.
We meet, we eat, we sleep, we get up, we talk, and that's it. There is no physicality, there's no physical part of that relationship that is important anymore. Now, there are lots of couples that live like that. There are persons who are married and they sleep in separate bedrooms. They don't have to be long into the relationship. It could be a short relationship. It could be whatever causing that. There are persons who have been married and they give up on the fact that they give up their sex life. So when we come back, we'll talk about that relationship aspect and we'll show you how it ties in with the functioning of the individual.
Definitely. Well, taking your time, it's 15 minutes after 7 o'clock. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with Sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, which is located at St. Augustine. We're going to take that break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Does your crew have the most vibes? Are you a karaoke singing champion? Then we got something for you. Beyond Karaoke returns to Power 102.
Join us as we visit bars and lounges across the country in search of the best karaoke performers in the island. If you and your crew are the best, come and sing and win. You have prizes for the biggest group, the most entertaining performer, the funniest singer, and the best soca karaoke performer. This Thursday, we visit Sessions Bar Lounge, number 63 Sun Main Road, Kirat, from 8 to 10 p.m. You never know who you might meet. Your favorite Power 102 announcer. They're coming too. We live in, singing. You all coming to have a great time. Check out the Power 102 FM website, Facebook, and Instagram for more details.
Beyond Karaoke is on this and every Thursday at a bar near you.
Sponsored by Carib. Carib, it's the way we play. Valpark Chinese Restaurant.
The best fine dining in the East. Lana, the best way to clean.
Racetrack Wheels.
Little Caesars. Extreme barbecue chicken pizza.
Target corned beef.
Party Food Supermarket. And Minix Beauty Services.
Before you act, think twice.
Think twice.
Think clean. Go green. For environmental awareness.
Power 102 FM
And Boom 94 FM continue to champion responsible actions for life, safety, and now a cleaner environment.
Our planet is what we make of it, so let's make the right choices.
The choice to reduce, to reuse, to recycle,
To conserve, to preserve,
to responsibly dispose, and to being more mindful of how we impact the world around us. for this generation and those still to come.
Join us for daily tips on how you can get involved at home, at work, and in your communities.
Encourage your neighbors, colleagues, and family as well. Help change the culture and behaviors for a greener, more environmentally conscious TNT.
Think twice.
Think twice.
For environmental awareness.
Brought to you by Swimco, the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited.
Power 102 FM and Boom 94 in association with the Good Group of Companies.
Bush Mountain TT, Salo Enterprises,
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Credit Union.
and the Price Club Supermarket. Think twice.
Think twice.
For a cleaner, greener Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united and moving forward as one. We're one people, one nation, and all in this together.
We are all in this together.
Let's do this with Cheryl Wilson on Power 102, empowering you. Sexplosion is on Power 102, and now on new days and at new times. The country's most informative sex education program, Sexplosion, is on every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. and Fridays from 9 p.m. to midnight with Dr. Raj, the guru of sex in the Caribbean.
A lot of times we think that sex is totally below the waist. It is not below the waist. It starts in the brain. The largest sex organ that you possess is your brain.
Tune in for discussion on all sexual matters. Sexplosion on Power 102, empowering you.
Open lines?
Yeah.
One could tell you that nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. Every Thursday and Friday, right here on Power 102 FM with Sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Well, here's where we give you the opportunity to interact with Dr. Raj. Simply give him a call in studio live right now at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. You can also send him messages on our website at Power 102 FM. Yeah.
In our society, we think that when we use the word relationship, it has to be a love relationship, or it has to be a physical type of relationship. We don't take into consideration that a relationship is any two persons or any a group of individuals reacting or interacting to a situation or interacting because of something that needs to be done. That's a relationship. Where the relationship goes from there, and I'm talking about, let's say, for example, I come to you. We were in the studio. You were in the studio. I'm in the studio, and I came. I say, I left a pen in the studio, and you tell me, well, I just found this pen. That's a relationship. What happens next? You give the pen back to me, or you say, well, I keep this pen. You can't get it. So the relationship goes to another level. I can say, well, if you keep my pen, I'll knock you down, or I'm going to report it to the police. I'm going to charge you for stealing. I'm going to have them charge you for stealing. I'm going to say that you steal my pen. So the relationship can go into it's dynamic. It could go into different directions, and that's a relationship. If we go to put the physical part of it and we concentrate on the physical part of a relationship, it will involve touching, caressing, feeling, tasting, all the different senses coming into play because of how you feel about the person. And that's a physical relationship. Their mental relationship also. A person may see someone from time to time passing in front of their workplace, their home, wherever they hang out or whatever, and they see this beautiful person or this handsome person, and they are in love with the person mentally. They say, well, I would like to be with that person. And they start stalking the person. They might go by the person, work and stand up outside to see. That's a relationship also. But it's not a physical relationship, but it's one that could develop into a physical relationship, because if you take the whole negativity out of it, of stalking and all those things, and you come like you're tracking. What we say tracking, not stalking, tracking. And then you get the person's name and you say, okay, well, I'll write you a little note and say, I like you and whatever. Or I meet you on the road and say, darling, we could go to a movie together. So you ask for a date. And if the date comes out, you're able to tell the person how you feel about the person. If the date comes about, or you go for dinner, something like that. So it's what you do to make the relationship grow. Why am I talking about that? And at first I talked about the clinic. when you have individuals, couples coming together, two individuals coming together, they create a relationship, but they create an entity. The entity is that relationship you have with the person. That entity, you feed the entity.
Yeah.
You feed the entity with a number of things. Love, understanding, compromise, a number of factors you put into that pot that is called the relationship, and that relationship starts to blossom. If something should falter in the relationship, what do? You will either try to work things out for yourself, or you try to seek professional help to get over the hurdles that that are placed in your way. Or sometimes you place hurdles in the way and you don't even realize it. The way you interact with your partner, the things that you say to your partner can cause the relationship to strengthen or to diminish. How could two persons who are madly in love, really, really be in love, can't do it without one another, cannot do without each other, fall out of love very quickly? How do these things happen? What happens to the psyche of the individual that causes these things to happen? Where's the protective instinct of the man to provide, to protect, to make sure that everything is okay, to take this other person into the relationship and show this person a part that has stability? Where has that gone? A lot of things have diminished in our society. A lot of things. There are a lot of young men out there who see their young ladies as just sexual objects because of what they've heard in music, what they have seen in videos, what they have seen on television. The woman is no longer this beauty or someone that I want to love and protect and take care of. I'm not saying this happens across the board, but it happens. The woman is just an object, or the young lady is just an object for sexual gratification, and that's it. Nothing else. So that's why I said, if you look at it as sex being the most important aspect of the relationship or your relationship, something is wrong. It is not. There are many other aspects to the relationship other than that physical part of it, and that's what we deal with. Now, for you to function well in the physical part of it, there are a number of things that you have to look at. You, who you are, what you're capable of, what knowledge base do you have? For years I've been on the radio talking about things of a sexual nature, 19 years to be precise. We're in our 19th year. And I have met individuals who said they will sit down and listen to the program and take notes, or they'll tape the program. There are persons who will go on our YouTube. Dr. Raj is now the Sexologist, is now a channel on YouTube. You can go and look at the videos. I was pleasantly surprised when I went to the Princestown branch to see they're running all the videos. And that took me back, because I was like, why? How come nobody else thought about this? But it's being run there all the time. I don't know why my IT person doesn't do it at the office in St. Augustine.
Well, we'll have to speak to him before we leave it.
No, but I'm surprised. Because when I went to the Princestown, I'm hearing my voice, I'm seeing myself, and they're running the videos continuously. Which is also educational, because persons can pick up from that whatever they need to pick up, so that they can learn something. We hear about education, but the physical part of it has to be done at the office. That's where someone comes in. Well, of course, there's a consultation fee. I don't do that for free. On radio, I'm for free. When I'm on media, social media, whatever, it's for free. I don't charge people for that. Although I've been told by my social media people that I should charge, but I don't see the reason for it. We have the kits on social media. We have different things that we're putting together and planning and developing as we go along. Everything cannot happen overnight, and we know that. There are things that we get from feedback from other individuals, persons who are just supporters of the program or supporters of Dr. Raj. That's why we offer this testing for individuals for Father's Day. We are giving that away for free for Father's Day, FREE. You don't have to pay a cent. You come in and you have that consultation done. It's 15 minutes. You're limited in time because, of course, you can get carried away and take away from another person's time. Okay. And I understand that, because sometimes you get into a talk with a patient and it's going deeper because you're realizing things about the person that maybe even the person didn't realize that it was a factor in affecting them. Sometimes I have individuals who come to me and the consultation time, they go way above above and beyond the consultation time, and my secretary would call and say, time's up, Dr. Raj. I'm like, no, give me 5 more minutes, because I am getting into the individual's mindset, and I'm realizing that there's something else. There's an underlying factor that is also causing problems with the individual, that is affecting him or her physically and emotionally. And when you start getting that kind of information, sometimes it's a one-off kind of thing, because the person themselves don't realize what they're saying. Now remember, our subconscious mind is our protector. We have a subconscious mind, and in our subconscious mind, sometimes we do things to protect ourselves, but in protecting ourselves, we don't realize the damage or the hurt that it causes others, because it becomes kind of selfish. The subconscious mind is selfish. It doesn't care about what he says or how it affects him or how it affects you. It cares about the protection of that individual. So your subconscious mind is your protector. That's why I tell persons, no one could force you to do anything unless they put a gun to your head, or they have you under torture or whatever, to do something that you don't want to do. The very same thing with hypnosis. Hypnosis does not work if the person doesn't want it to work, Oh. The subconscious mind will stop you. It will stop you from getting into that hypnotic state and doing things that you're not supposed to do. It's the same thing with dreams. Dreams are a pathway to the subconscious mind, but it's not fully the subconscious mind. It's another pathway that has been researched, for thousands, hundreds of years. They can't come up with a finality with it, but of course there's no finality with it, because you may remember some of your dreams and you may not remember some of your dreams. But getting back to the reality of the individual, when you deal with the reality of the individual and you're dealing with that focusing on that which is real, and that which needs to be dealt with, that is where you have to be very careful when dealing with individuals who have problems. We'll be back.
Anyway, folks, taking return 29 minutes after 7 o'clock. You're listening to Sexplosion on this Thursday evening with Sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. This is located at St. Augustine, where he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Well, at home, at work, and in your community, think twice. Think clean and go green. Avoid the one-use wrapping items for breakfast and lunch. Instead of cling wrap for the kids' sandwiches in the morning, get a dedicated sandwich container or use a Ziploc bag every day. So before you use things once, without fraud, reuse. Think twice for a cleaner, greener Trinidad and Tobago. Powered by Swingcall, by Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited, Power 102 and Boom 94. In association with Salary Enterprises, Price Club Supermarket, Bay Trinidad and Tobago Police Credit Union, Bush Mountain TET, and the Gillett Group of Companies. At home, at work, and in your community, think twice, think clean, and go green.
And for just one day, when you can celebrate the men who helped raise us all week long here on Power 102. New fathers, father figures, soon-to-be fathers, and to the old pro fathers. Tune in all day to hear how much you're loved and celebrated as we recognize the contributions that dads make to the lives of their children.
Being a father still in many things.
Celebrate Dad All Week promotion, where we invite you, our devoted listeners, to call in and share with us what's the most important lesson your dad taught you growing up.
When I was a little boy, my dad used to say, David, school days are the best days of your life.
We'll choose a winner every day and select a grand prize winner on Thursday, 13th June. Competition starts this Monday, June 3rd. Want to make your dad feel special? Let's show him how much we respect and appreciate him.
Thank you, Dad, for always being there when I needed you.
In our Celebrate Dad All Week promotion here on Power 102, being brought to you in part by Macasson, Live Like a King, Northeast Pan Spectacular, Crown Point Beach Hotel, and Chatak Foods Curry Paste. Freedom. The concert. Wednesday, June 19th, the Labor Day holiday.
Night before the Corpus Christi holiday.
Royal Mara Stadium.
South Trinidad. Baby Man.
Supercat. Sanchez. Cuddy Ranks.
General admission ticket, $300.
And premium drinks inclusive VIP tickets, $750. For more info, call or WhatsApp the Freedom Hotline at 740-0400 or 359-8686. Sponsored by Stag, A Man's Bear,
Cache.
Koyash Enterprises Limited, Hennessy, the Lullaby Group, Johnny Walker, Hilton Trinidad, the Hotel of Choice for Freedom the Concert, Ciroc, and Southern Sales Car Rentals, the official ground transportation provider for Freedom the Concert.
Supercat.
Sanchez,
Beanie Man.
and Cuddy Ranks.
I see nobody liking.
Stadium.
Freedom the Concert.
Before you act, think twice. Think twice. Think clean. Go green. For environmental awareness.
Power 102 FM.
And Boom 94 FM continue to champion responsible action for life, safety, and now a cleaner.
I'm now getting some hearts, like they hear.
Our planet is what we make of it, so let's make the right choices.
The choice to reduce, to reuse, to recycle,
To conserve, to preserve,
to responsibly dispose, and to be more mindful of how we impact the world around us for this generation and those still to come.
join us for daily tips on how you can get involved at home, at work, and in your communities.
Encourage your neighbors, colleagues, and family as well. Help change the culture and behaviors for a greener, more environmentally conscious TNT.
Think twice.
Think twice.
For environmental awareness.
Brought to you by Swimco, the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited.
Power 102 FM and Boom 94 in association with the Good Group of Companies.
Bush Mountain TT, Salo Enterprises,
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Credit Union.
and the Price Club Supermarket. Think twice.
Think twice.
For a
Got to renew this?
greener Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, continue that we do practice what we preach when it comes to sex education. Right here on Power 102 FM. Sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Lineage and the Adult Therapy Center. Just to remind you once again that our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj. 2228255, also at 6128255. You can send in your private messages on his private mobile 7401961. You can also send in your messages on our website at Power 102 FM. Yeah.
Remember to hit the like button for those of you on Facebook. Just hit the like button, the hearts, the thumbs up.
Hearts is important.
Yes,
Shows that the extra love is gone into the pressing of the button.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, Junior. Yes, so we were talking about that whole aspect of relationship, but the strengthening of the individual so that the relationship itself, that unit that you have created, also becomes strong. So when we talk about the physical part of the relationship, that physical aspect of it, which is the sexual part of it, and sexual could be non-penetrative. It could be something that involves just cuddling, and that is of a sexual nature because a lot of women like that. They like the fact that they can lie in bed with their partner without feeling the pressure of wanting or having sex. Just simply lying there and cuddling and enjoying a moment together, watching a movie or talking about things and whatnot. But it does not have to necessarily lead into sex, although the man might be looking for sex as much as possible. Because the number one reaction I get when I ask men, and listen to the question that I ask, how often do you have sex? Well, I would like to have sex every day. That's not the question I ask. I didn't ask you how often you would like to have sex.
How often you do have.
How often you do have sex. And more than likely, when they boil down like Baji, it comes down to once a week or even once a month. But you're telling me you're having sex once a week or once a month, but you would like to have sex every day. Obviously, you're not having sex every day because something is wrong. I'm not saying that you should have sex every day. Because even having sex too often, like, you know, there's a very popular saying, too much of one thing is good for nothing.
Oh, yes.
And that also applies to your sexual being. Because if you continuously do the same thing over and over and over and over, and you get any benefits of it at the beginning, eventually it's going to wear off and you will not feel that way about whatever you're doing. The body is designed in that way, You cannot eat, okay, let's say for example, your favorite food is a high cholesterol type food. Whatever it may be, high cholesterol. But it's your favorite food. I'm not calling any name, but that's your favorite food. You think you can eat your favorite food every single day?
Oh no.
You can't.
No, you'll get tired of it.
You'll get fed up of it. If your favorite beverage, except for alcohol, because when you become an alcoholic, you look for the alcohol because you need the alcohol in your system. That's something different. But your favorite beverage, as we started off the program, we talked about cocoa and coffee. Let's say it's cocoa, and you're drinking it continuously all the time. You're going to get fed up one day. You're going to say, I don't want cocoa. For some reason, I don't get the pleasure out of it anymore. Isn't that what food does? When you taste something, when you feel it on your tongue, when it goes into your system, how you feel? Well, it's the same thing with sex. And I know some men will say, well, that's not true. I can have sex every day. And I challenge that person to try to have sex every day for 365 days and see what happens. If you think you can have sex every day, try having sex for 40 days continuously. And eventually, you'll find yourself in a situation where the sex does not matter. There's no excitement to it. So when someone says, I would like to have sex every day, they do themselves a disservice. Now, there may be one or two persons who are capable of doing that. But eventually you're going to get burnt out like everything else. If you like playing football, why it is cricketers don't play cricket every single day of their lives? They will get burnt out, they will lose their touch, they will lose their form. Something will happen. Same thing with footballers, anything you think about. If you could even exercise, any person who says they love to exercise, and I'm throwing out that challenge there now. A person says, I love to exercise. I'm sure there's one morning you get up and you say, oh God, I ain't doing nothing today. Mm-hmm. I am positive about that.
Yeah.
I think I did that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The body.
There will be a time that you will get fed up of whatever you're doing, even if it is good for you. But if you're physically unable to do it, what happens then? You're faced with a different challenge. Now you're incapable of doing what you want to do because the body is not programmed that way. So you are going to have issues. Yes, and when you have that issue where you're unable to perform, you cannot satisfy your partner. The only adult therapy center in the Caribbean is at Total Image, in St. Augustine. Only one, There's no other adult therapy center in the Caribbean.
No other island.
No other island. We treat people from all over the Caribbean, North America, South America, Europe, Middle East and Far East. We treat individuals from all over the world. They hear about me. They get information on the internet. The best form of advertisement is someone recommending you.
Well, yes.
Someone recommend me to an individual. That person comes, get treated, and recommend me to another individual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have that in the Caribbean. We have it in Trinidad. So why not make use of it?
Right in the backyard. Anyway, folks, taking our time, 22 minutes before 8 o'clock on the inside of Sexplosion and Power 102 FM. With the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, our Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Are you the life of the party?
Does your crew have the most vibes?
Are you a karaoke singing champion? Then we've got something for you. Beyond Karaoke returns to Power 102.
Join us as we visit bars and lounges across the country in search of the best karaoke performers in the island. If you and your crew are the best, come and sing and win. We have prizes for the biggest group, the most entertaining performer, the funniest singer, and the best soca karaoke performer. This Thursday, we visit Sessions Bar Lounge, number 63 Sun Main Road, Curragh, from 8 to 10 p.m. You never know who you might meet. Your favorite Power 102 announcer. They're coming too. We liming, singing. We all coming to have a great time. Check out the Power 102 FM website, Facebook, and Instagram for more details.
Beyond Karaoke is on this and every Thursday at a bar near you.
Sponsored by Carib. Carib, it's the way we play. Val Park Chinese Restaurant.
The best fine dining in the East. Lana, the best way to clean.
Racetrack Wings.
Little Caesars, Extreme Barbecue Chicken Pizza.
Target corned beef.
Party Food Supermarket. And Minix Beauty Services.
New date, new date, new date. In consideration of all band fans caught in the middle, the Northeast Band Spectacular is now Labor Day, Wednesday, June 19th. Featuring from the North, BP Renegade, Massey, Trinidad All-Stars, and Desperados. From the East, Panbury, Yorima Angel Hawks, and First Citizens Supernovas. Under the patronage of Arima Mayor Lisa Morris Julian, also in memory and tribute to Arima icon Lord Kitchener, MC and DJ for the night, Sensational Sammy. New date, Labor Day, Wednesday, June 19th at the Arima Velodrome. All tickets remain valid. General admission tickets remain $225.
When is that? Right. Huh?
We have 5 minutes talk and then the last break.
And after that, we have how many minutes?
Eh?
And after the last break, how many minutes?
10. After this break,
Can be 10 minutes. Can be 10 minutes. Yeah, because what time are you going live? You already connected?
Wednesday, June 19th, the Labor Day holiday.
Night before the Corpus Christi holiday.
Wyan Lara Stadium.
South Trinidad.
Supercat.
yeah, the connector. Yeah, the connector. Yeah, let me go back to it. It's soft, man. You got to get this function.
So I'll wrap up in this 5 minutes and bring you in the last 8 minutes.
Wrap up in this.
I will wrap up in this 5 minutes.
And then bring him, yeah, and then after finish, you take the last break.
Ground transportation provider for Freedom the Concert. Supercat, Sanchez, and Cuddy Ranks, June 19th.
Why?
Freedom.
I think Omar had a Father's Day last night.
Think twice.
Think twice.
Think clear.
Family, you have laughed and you cried.
Environmental awareness.
The other woman come with a mouth.
Power 102 FM.
And
None of them are gonna cool.
continue to champion responsible action for life, safety, and now
You would laugh.
a cleaner
You would
environment.
really laugh.
Our planet is what we make of it, so let's make the right choices.
Hi.
To reduce, to reuse,
She played a good tune.
Oh my papa.
to responsibly
You know that the song, you know the small you see kite paper, you just scratch up on your lips.
for this generation.
Buzz your lip.
And she have the comb in a case, eh?
Join us for day
It's a special case,
Right.
One of them long time people comb that have two colors, brown and
Bro,
brown.
bro. With the big teeth and the small teeth.
I think,
Environmentally conscious TNT.
How many people she had?
we should, you know, this is like a concert.
No, I know normally it be packed up.
About 6 people singing. Charles Wood, why sit down? Because he had to open up. He took my drum.
Oh, okay.
Salo Enterprises
Trinidad and Tobago Police Credit Union.
and the Price Club Supermarket. Think twice.
Think twice.
For a cleaner, greener Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome to this is what it's all about. Sexplosion on this Thursday with the only sexologist, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Yeah.
So my question to you is, what's your relationship? What's the level of your relationship? How physical is your relationship? And if you are not satisfied with the way your relationship is going, and then we're talking about the relationship that involves some sort of sexual contact.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the relationship like two persons may have on meeting. We're talking about a serious type of relationship, a relationship that is physical, leading to sex, or is sexual. How strong are you in your relationship? What are you doing to strengthen it as you go along? How do you keep your body in check? What are you doing for yourself? Many a times we don't think about ourselves because we're putting out everything out there to make things better for others. And that's one of our problems that we have also. There are a lot of men out there who are dedicated to their family. They're dedicated to making sure that things are good in the home. They're dedicated to their job. Sometimes they're over-dedicated to their job because they take their job, they go to their job and they take their job at home. So how dedicated are you and what are you doing for you? Sometimes we don't think about what we should spend on ourselves because we have other commitments. And I understand that. I have many a times a patient will come to me and say, I couldn't come back because I had some financial restraints or constraints. And I would understand. Let's take it if you have a call coming in, of course.
Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hi, good night, Dr. Raj.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, family.
Dr. Raj, one of the problems that there is in a lot of relationships, right, is that most times that the spouse, whether it's a man or the woman, always take their partner for granted. And here I have to say, you don't get men, I won't say I don't, but you hardly will get men that lie down up there with their wife and talk. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I talk about. The physical relationship is just being able to cuddle with that person and be at a certain wavelength with the person where it doesn't amount to something being sexual, but it is just a physical type of relationship, a physical touch.
You know, you sit down on the line and on the talk, or you watch a little TV, you know, and for me, because I mean, I know that I used to do, and for me, I used to really enjoy talking in my phone better than having sex. Not sex, you understand? And it don't mean that I had to be dropping on her chest every minute. But you know, we lie down and talk, and when we don't talk, we go on and we sleep, we kiss each other, we go on and we sleep, you know, get up in the morning again.
Hello? Yeah. Well, that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? At times. Now, there is a physical part of it and a sexual part of your relationship. Yes. There is that aspect of the relationship. And you have to maintain that because I said, and I reiterate that sex is the cement that binds your relationship together. So in order for you to keep that relationship strong as you want it to be, sex is an important component of that. But apart from the sexual part of it, you have to maintain that physical part for yourselves, women and men. It doesn't make sense you are in a relationship and your partner is trying to come on to you and you're not receptive as a woman. It doesn't make sense that your partner wants to have sex with you and you're incapable of doing this as a man. You have to do the things to keep your body in check. So health is important. Health is an important factor. Taking care of your body, understanding who you are, and not going overboard with things as you sometimes we overdo it with things, alcohol, drugs, liming, different things.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 10 minutes before 8 o'clock, Sexplosion of Power 102 FM with Guru of Sex Education, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. Well, just to remind you, at home, at work, and in your community, think twice, think clean, go green. Pack real utensils with your lunch to avoid plastic spoons and forks. Get a cloth napkin for lunch bags instead of the one-use paper napkins. So before you use things once without thought, reuse. Think twice for a cleaner Trinidad and Tobago. Powered by Syncol, the Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited, Power 102 and Boom 94 in association with Salu Enterprises, Price Club Supermarket, the Bay Trinidad and Tobago Price Credit Union, Bush Mountain TT and the Gillett Group of Companies. So folks at home, at work and in your community, think twice, think clean and go green.
Question: why a person does be wet?
Are the problems and destructive anxieties of today tearing you apart? If there was ever a time to readjust your priorities and focus your vision, it's now.
How much here?
Pastor Wayne Sampson on the Vision for Devotional program every Monday from 5:30 to 6 a.m. right here on Power 102 FM. Jesus is the only one who can give you peace in the midst of today's storm.
I seen it.
Wednesday, June 19th, the Labor Day holiday.
Night before the Corpus Christi
Popular show.
holiday.
Brian Lara Stadium.
Popular show.
Trinidad, get ready.
The musical icons are coming. Sanchez,
When we get into the
Dr
talk,
Raj, featuring the iconic DJs.
Then feature.
Shockmaster J.
exactly 5 minutes to talk.
First priority music.
Rodney Fireball King.
Right now, let me see all who remember. Turn base, have no time to waste.
Ishmael, the Demolition Man.
Another bombshell. Well, that's enough respect to the man called Ishmael the Demolition Man. Fix good. Sometimes someone comes from us already.
Toronto, DJ
What's that?
Shiva.
The camera that's streaming. I know it's streamed live on the
This one right here.
This one.
Yeah.
I'll dance.
When you're talking, they will call it vital sign or
I have two announcements to make and then go on. I need to answer this question here.
one more after.
Let's do this with Cheryl Wilson on Power 102. Empowering you. Why celebrate Dad for just one day? When you can celebrate the men who have raised us all week long.
Let's talk about what took place yesterday and remind people about
School days are the best days of your life. We'll choose a winner every day and select a winner on Thursday, 13th June. Competition starts this Monday, June 3rd. Want to make your dad feel special? Let's show him how much we respect and appreciate him.
Thank you, Dad, for always being there when I needed you.
Celebrate Dad all-week promotion here on Power 102. Being brought to you in part by Matheson, Live Like a King, Northeast Pan Spectacular, Crown Point Beach Hotel, and Cheddar Foods Curry Paste.
And we welcome you back to Sexplosion on Power 102 FM.
Question: why a person does be wet when making love or having sex? Is this good or bad? That cannot be bad. You're supposed to get wet for penetration. When a woman gets wet, it's preparing you for penetration, so there will not be friction or chafing of the vagina. Now, before I go further, remember there's clinic tomorrow, and there's clinic also on Saturday. For those of you listening to the program tonight and you're coming to the clinic either tomorrow or Saturday in St. Augustine, just mention that you heard it on this program and you will get a discount. There's a special discount that will be given.
Beautiful.
And we're not saying what it is because unless you don't mention that you heard it on the program, you would not get it. So you have to tell the receptionist that you heard that you're getting a special discount when you get there. So before I go off, we have just a couple of more minutes. Let me introduce you to Prashant Maharaj. She'll be on He did the testing yesterday, and he'll tell you what's happening tomorrow.
Yes.
Not tomorrow, Saturday.
Yep, Saturday at our Princeton branch at number 54 Wellington Road. We're going to have a whole lot of screening going on. We're going to test circulation, blood pressure, and also some nitric oxide tests as well too. Well, Wednesday we had a fantastic evening. It was so great getting to meet so many of our listeners. Special shout out to Jason and Jennifer. We had a lot of couples coming in, and it's always great to see couples coming in and making sure that they're both healthy and able to have fun as well too. What I realize, and especially when you meet more and more patients, that's where you really learn as a medical professional. We realize that many persons haven't done that much testing in their lifetime. Maybe they did one 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or maybe just for work. Also too, when they go to their doctors or to doctors in the public service, the doctors are very quick not to hear what they have to say and not to find out what the real problem is. Well, of course, I had some fantastic conversations, and I realized that many persons had very low nitric oxide levels. But what does this mean? It means that their circulation within the body may not be the best. Also too, when we tested their pulse oximetry, that measures the amount of oxygen in their blood, we realized that some persons, especially the older ones, tend to have a diminished or lower reading. Now what does all this mean? Well, your body has pipes and fluids in it, just like a house. And if you have circulation issues, you have issues throughout the entire body. So that's why it's so important for us to increase your circulation and regulate it at the Adult Therapy Center. If you'd like to make an appointment for Saturday, that's Saturday in Princeton on Wellington Road, you can call 645-4543. That's 645-4543, or you can message me on WhatsApp on my cell number 794-8191. That number again, 794-8191.
And remember them, don't get in touch with me for this.
Call me, message me, 794-8191, right? There is limited space for the Princeton testing because we have a lot of South listeners as well as a lot of persons who weren't available during the week. They want to do it on the weekend and in South as well too. So that number again, 794-8191. Special shout out to all the persons who came in. We had a lot of people coming in. Special shout out to Justin and his partner who came in, Roger, Elliot, Jason and Jennifer as well too. Our listeners, they said they've been listening for close to 15 years now. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Jennifer says, good evening, Dr. Raj Jr. and the next guy. Well, the next guy is Prashant. Jennifer and Jason locked on.
I don't know how she forgot my name. So again, just following up on that, Saturday in Princeton, Wellington Road, we're going to be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Make sure and message me, 794-8191. That's 794-8191.
And they can call. They can call at the office there.
Yep.
I think it's 770-8700. 770-8700. That's very easy to remember. 770-8700. That's the number for the store in Princeton. For those of you who want to be there, that's what you have to do. Make your appointment, come in and get your free testing. For those of you who come to the Adult Therapy Center tomorrow and Saturday, remember I just mentioned there is a special discount for you and you will get it. And I'm talking about first-time visitors. Good night.
You've been listening to Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with sexologist Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Coming up, karaoke right here on Power 102 FM.